toe. What to do with the folk, man? MBBC. What's good, man? What to do with the folk, man? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy, DT3 the Beezy. You feels me. What's going on? What's good with the folk, man? Just wanted to do a quick live, man. What's up, SA? Shout out to the whole UGCZ, man. What's the good, man? What's the business, man? Holla at your boy, man. Feel free to time on in, man. I just like to give people the time to slide through and come holla at your boy. I just slid with 4 vids today, and, I just had to, give y'all some work today. You know what I'm saying? I got some time on my hands, so I feel like I can give y'all live and give y'all some real good boxing talk this good day. We got Boxing Talk 151, man. You know what I'm saying? Get your drinks up, get your cups up, man. Holla at your boy. It's here to talk about Terrence Crawford. Of course, we're going to talk about Wilder. What's up, Ziggy Zane? What to do with the folk? We're going to talk about, Wilder, of course. We're going to talk about Tank Davis. We're going to talk about some comments that I recently saw from Floyd Mayweather that I'm really not a fan of. We're going to also speak up on some situations that we've been seeing on ESPN with like Stephen A. Smith, the likes of him, and a couple of other cats and a couple of these YouTubers that, I'm not really a fan of. And we're gonna touch on a couple of things. What's up, MMA champ? Shout out to the MXBC, man. Bringing the youth to the boxing community, man. Shout out to the whole MXBC. What it do with the folk? What's going on, man? Time on in, man. It's no rush. Just feel free to slide on in, holla at your boy. But I really want to touch on this whole thing with Crawford, though, because I'm just going to let y'all know right here, right now. I already did the videos and posted them, so you feel me? Feel free to go back and check those out. But I'm just going to speak on this shit here right now live. You feel me? Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, that fight not going to happen. And we need to, really just let that go. Let it go. It's not going to happen. I mean, we could speculate. We could come up with every reason or saying Crawford is ducking and Spence is ducking and all. We come up with every type of analogy you want to think of. You come up with anyone you want to. But the bottom line, that fight not going to happen. And when people do dumb shit, like compare the Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford build up to a Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, I feel like that's disrespectful to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, because for one, when that fight was really first announced to happen, you got to think, who was Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao at the time? They were both, if they were to have retired at that time of the announcement of that fight being possible, they were Hall of Famers already. They were Hall of Famers, both pound for pound fighters. True pound for pound fighters, because the way they do the pound for pound list now is just you win a belt, you pound for pound. It's just bullshit. But at that particular time, arguably that was number 1 and number 2 pound for pound. People had it either way. Floyd number 1, Manny number 2, Manny number 1, Floyd number 2. But either way, you had arguably number 1 and number 2 pound for pound fighters fighting each other, pretty much. And when people say stupid shit like Floyd waited till Manny got old, even though Floyd is older than Manny Pacquiao, let's be clear, Floyd is the older man of the two. So if anybody who shouldn't have waited to make that fight happen, it should have been Floyd. Floyd should have made that fight happen a whole hell of a lot sooner if it was based on the age difference between the two. Floyd being the older one of the two. Now, Terrence Crawford right now is a Hall of Famer. If he were to retire right now, 3-division world champion, 2-time lineal, former undisputed. If he were to retire with that under his belt, he is technically a Hall of Famer. Errol Spence is not. Okay? Errol Spence is just a unified champion. That's it. And there are plenty of fighters in boxing throughout the history of boxing that have been unified champions. And I'm sure people could argue and say, well, it's been unified champions that's been in the Hall of Fame and all that. But guess what? Why they're in the Hall of Fame? And it's something that is very, very critical in combat sports. More than likely, it's because they put on really good fights, bro. More than likely, it's because they fought top opposition, win, lose, or draw. Mickey Ward is more of a Hall of Famer than a lot of these fighters today. And he lost a hell of a lot more than a lot of these fighters. And he's a bigger and greater Hall of Famer than a lot of these champions that you guys hype up so much. You want to know why I would say Mickey Ward is a better and more of a Hall of Famer than these fighters that we see today? It's because he was willing to get in there and did get in there with just about everybody in his division and in his era. Wasn't afraid to fight nobody, anytime, anywhere, for whatever reason. It wasn't about money. Wasn't about fame. It was about glory and honor and testing yourself as a man, testing your mental, testing your physical, what the sport is really about, what it was really based on and built upon. That's what really this boxing and combat sport shit is about. But now it's about the money. Floyd, you fucked up the game of boxing. And I'm going to come live and say it straight up. You fucked up the game of boxing, Floyd Mayweather Jr. You fucked it up. Because now we have to have a debate, or we're having debates based on who was the bigger person in boxing out of a Teofimo Lopez and a Gervonta Tank Davis. We're actually having that fucking argument here, people. Teofimo Lopez, who is technically, arguably, the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Let me repeat that. We are literally arguing that Tank Davis is a bigger draw and a bigger accomplished boxer than the current unified, undisputed, lineal lightweight champion of the world in Teofimo Lopez. The fact that we are arguing that is an insult to the sport of boxing. What's up, Chain Wardogs? It's an insult. It's a straight up insult. Teofimo Lopez is the man at lightweight. Whether you like him or you don't, he is the man. He holds all the cards. What's up, Alex? He holds all of them. He has all the belts. He has all the accolades. He has all the notoriety. Teofimo is the guy. Period. Tank Davis is the guy that wants headlines. Tank Davis is the guy that wants to be seen on Twitter. He's the guy that wants to be seen at all the celebrity parties. He wants the fame. So what we're getting from Mayweather Promotions and a lot of cats on the PBC side is that if you obtain the fame, it'll be easier to manage your career and you can create this illusion because you really aren't the man. You created this illusion that you are this bigger than life individual that is supposed to make all this money, that everything goes through you, but you have nothing that there's nothing that Tank Davis has that anybody wants. What does Tank Davis have that anybody wants? Don't say money. And that's another thing that's a misconception right now, is that they argue money. Oh, whoa, Tank get money. Who's to say no other fighter is getting money? How do we know no other fighter is making good money? How do we not know that? Teofimo Lopez just had a house built. It takes a good amount of money to do that. These fighters aren't broke. Mismanaging your money is one thing, but these fighters aren't broke. These fighters aren't hungry. If these fighters are bitching about money, it's really because they have a lifestyle that they want to live and they can't live it based on the means that they're making, and they're trying to live above their means. So a lot of these fighters are just greedy motherfuckers. Straight up. You're getting big paydays. You're not fighting top level opposition to where you should be arguing for these millions on millions on millions. Everybody wants to be the $1 million man, but don't want to do $1 million shit. And I have a real problem with that. I have a real big problem. These fighters aren't broke. And when you got Devin Haney sitting there arguing with Tank Davis about who made more money by what age, when really in actuality, none of that shit really matters because neither one of you motherfuckers is finna get in the ring and fight each other. Y'all want to put on this fake Twitter beef to fake promote. Because don't tell me that y'all doing this to promote a fight or to hype up a fight. That will never happen. I'm not into the what ifs, what could be, or what might be. I'm into the what is. What will be, what will do, what will go. Not what won't, what may be. What, no, I'm not into the maybes and what ifs. I'm into the what is, what's going to be. Too many maybes and too many possibilities. No, let's talk about the factual shit that's really gonna happen. Because we all should know Deontay Wilder is not finna fight Tyson Fury a third time. Give up hope. That's not going to happen. Deontay Wilder is going to talk his shit to keep himself in the limelight because all publicity is good publicity. Even when you a bitch ass nigga like Deontay Wilder who gonna do bitch ass shit, say dumb punk ass bitch ass shit and be a disgrace. Because guess what I'm gonna tell you, Wilder? You know what's fucked up, Wilder? You probably are a good dude behind closed doors. But you know, one day, people that are in your camp have to go into the world, namely your children, bro. And they're going to grow up into a world where they have to constantly deal and defend the bullshit antics of you. Because they will constantly hear how much your father is, how much they daddy is a bitch. He's a coward. He ain't going to fight nobody. He makes all these excuses. And actually, to be real with you, Deontay Wilder has had the most excuses throughout boxing history. He's historically proven for that. Deontay Wilder has literally made the most excuses within the sport of boxing. No one in the sport of boxing has made more bullshit excuses than Deontay Wilder. He has that hands down. So they're going to grow up and have to deal with that. If they're not dealing with that now, but more likely you got them homeschooled because you don't want them to deal with the pressures of the world. It's too much. But Teofimo is the man at lightweight, not Tank. Tank is the money man. You want to get paid, fight Tank. That's it. And when Floyd, you say shit like Tank is the man at lightweight, but he has nothing. You're saying money, but at the same time, Tank not finna just fight anybody. He's only going to fight if it's money, if it's big money. That's it. He's not going to fight to really challenge himself. He's not going to do that, Floyd. You know that shit. You lying to the folk. I saw your interview on ESPN. I see what you're saying about Tank. I see how you promoting that shit. I see what you did when you put Tank on your card when you fought Conor McGregor. I see what you're doing, bro. It's all big business for you. It has nothing to do with really being good in the sport of boxing. Like you said, you don't even know everything Canelo did because like you said, you don't keep up with other fighters. You don't. You said that yourself. You don't keep up with these fighters. Because when Canelo's name was mentioned, the only person that you really can remember him fighting is your bitch ass. And Canelo has done a whole hell of a lot after you. But you even said that light heavyweight. You didn't even know who he fought at light heavyweight, Floyd. And you even admitted that you didn't even think he could be successful at light heavyweight. And yet, and still he did. So you be hating on Canelo low-key too. I see what's up with you, Floyd. I'm going to tell you right here, right now, Floyd, and I get it. I know you don't give a fuck because all you care about is money. That's all you care about is money. And your comeback to motherfuckers is they only say that shit because they broke. Let me tell you something. I don't got to be rich to have a brain. I don't got to have money to have some fucking sense at all. To be real with you. And a lot of the debates you be having on fucking ESPN, you don't want to have with me. I'm going to chew your whole ass up every motherfucking time you open your fucking mouth and say some dumb fuck shit that you said. The fact that you compared, your stupid ass actually compared Leo Santa Cruz to Vasily Loma fucking Chanko. What in seven hells is wrong with you, Floyd Money Mayweather? What's up, Mondo? You really compared that. And I'm going to explain to y'all how he compared that. This is what he said on ESPN, First Take, with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, right? He said, when they asked him about Teofimo and all that, and he spoke upon Lomachenko moving up, right? He said Lomachenko moved up how many weight classes, right? Okay. How do you compare Lomachenko moving up, 3 weight classes to Leo Santa Cruz moving up 1? How can you compare that? Leo Santa Cruz, let me give you a Leo and Loma comparison. Leo Santa Cruz is, I would arguably, is arguably, not even arguably, he is, excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize. He is a multiple division world champion, okay? Won multiple world titles, okay, and as a professional, right? He's fought some decent opposition as a pro, okay? Skill-wise, he's defensively ignorant, but he can scrap. But skill-wise, he's lacking. But that motherfucker Leo Santa Cruz can fight his ass off. Let's give that man his just due. But at the same time, he's defensively retarded. So there's no way that you can compare him to a Vasily Lomachenko, whom is a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Leo isn't even an Olympian. Man has over 400 fights, period, total. He has damn near 400 amateur fights. He is the fastest man to win a world title in boxing, tied. And he's moved up multiple weight classes due to skills, good punch selection, defensively sound, decent skills. It wasn't until he fought bigger opposition until he was challenged. Because if Lomachenko would have stayed at the weight with Leo Santa Cruz, I'm telling you, Lomachenko washes Leo Santa Cruz. Easy work. We all know that. We put Leo Santa Cruz against Vasily Lomachenko at 126 or 130 pounds. We know what's finna happen. We know how that's going to turn out. What's up, Los? Happy thanks to you. We know what's going to happen. Loma's going to wash Leo Santa Cruz. Period. It's not going to be up for discussion. It's not going to be a challenge. None of that shit. So for Floyd Mayweather, with all your knowledge and your experience in this sport, how in 7 hells would you compare a Leo Santa Cruz to a Vasily Lomachenko to build up or promote a Leo Santa Cruz Gervonta Tank Davis fight when there is no comparison between Leo Santa Cruz moving up 1 weight class, being non-defensively sound, to a fighter who is defensively sound and is the quickest world champion in boxing history? How do you compare that? What's up, Major Key? How do you compare that? How do you make that make sense, Floyd Jr.? How? You can't. You can pull that bullshit on Max Kellerman and Stephen A. bitch-ass Smith. You could pull that shit on them motherfuckers. And you was barely able to pull it on Max Kellerman. See, the problem with you, Floyd, is you thinking that you calling out motherfuckers when it's you that need to be called out on your bullshit too. And Max Kellerman knows boxing well enough to know he could call you out on shit. But he's so caught up by the mystique of Floyd Mayweather and he working for ESPN, he ain't trying to make you look stupid on national television. And that's the problem that a lot of these networks have with Floyd Mayweather. That even the ones that know boxing, they afraid to put Floyd in his place because he's Floyd Mayweather and they let Floyd make excuses. No, Floyd, you with that bullshit too. You be drinking that Alan Heyman juice too, because Alan Heyman taught your ass the game. He taught you. Everything that you're doing is based on what Alan Heyman taught your ass how to go about your shit. Because Alan Heyman advised you. In your applying it to your shit. I know Mondo. Stephen A. Smith don't know shit about boxing. The bitch ass nigga need to stick to basketball. And don't get me wrong, I got love for you, Stephen A. I think you're one of the greatest analysts, sports analysts to ever touch the panel on ESPN. But when it comes to this boxing talk, Stephen A., shut your ass the fuck up, you Wilder fanboy. Because that's what you are. You're a Wilder fanboy. You don't know shit about boxing. You don't know a check hook from a left hook. Okay? You don't know shit. You don't know nothing. Okay? Happy thanks, Toad. You don't know anything. Everything that you know, Stephen A., about boxing, you pretty much learned from Max Kellerman. Because Max Kellerman is actually intimately involved with the sport. Unlike you, who is just intimately involved with football and basketball. Okay? You trying to slide your ass over to this boxing shit. But Stephen A., keep your ass where you at with basketball and football. You know the numbers of that shit very well. I give you that. But when it comes to this boxing shit, I will eat your whole ass up every time. Every time. You right, Los. Max be schooling him. He be schooling him. Because he don't know shit about boxing. Stephen A. don't know a damn thing. He don't know a check hook from a fish hook from a left hook. He don't know shit. Nothing. You even look like trash when you working out in boxing. I saw that 9-month video you did. You looked horrible. That's why everybody ate your ass up through social media with that shit. Exactly. He is a company man. That's why I'm saying he didn't want to call out Floyd on his bullshit. Because you could see in the interview that Max wanted to call out Floyd Mayweather on his bullshit, but he's like, I can't do it. Because if I do that, I'm going to get in trouble with ESPN. And then I don't want to hear that shit. And then they're going to probably suspend me and be some bullshit. That's the problem with these major networks. They don't want to call out these people for who they are and what they're doing. And then when you call out these fraudulent ass people for what they do, now they don't want to do interviews with you because you want to call out the truth for what it is. You want to be truthful. So the people that claim that they real and they honest, really not real and honest. They fake. Because I promise you, if I was to have a conversation with Floyd, I trust and believe I'm going to piss him off on accident. Not even on purpose. On accident, just being factually true. What's up, Will Cash? Yeah, Danny Garcia and Errol Spence is gonna be a phone booth fight. It should be pretty entertaining. It should be real entertaining, that fight. But the stuff that Floyd is saying now is just based on him trying to hype up Gervonta Tank Davis. That's all he's trying to do. He keeps saying, I don't discredit no fighter, I don't knock no fighter, but you subliminally be knocking fighters, Floyd. That's bitch shit. I know that business talk. I get it. The problem is with a lot of you motherfuckers out here in this world, y'all too afraid to call out Floyd Mayweather on this bullshit. Because y'all want to get a soundbite from Floyd. Fuck getting a soundbite from Floyd. Fuck Floyd. And I don't mean that fuck him as a man or disrespectfully. I don't mean that in that way. But I'm saying, Floyd, you be on some bullshit too. Just like everybody else. You not exempt. You ain't a perfect motherfucker. And I'm not saying that you said you are a perfect motherfucker as far as living. You just feel that you perfect in boxing because your record says so. But even then, because I still feel like you set up that Ricky Hatton fight. I really do. I feel like if you let Ricky be Ricky, he'd beat your ass. For real, for real. I will say that to the day I die. And I get it. When I talk about that fight, people talk about how Ricky Hatton got knocked out. But if you watch the first minute of that fight, and you look at how Cortez kept breaking him up every time, it was damn near like Parker Joshua. It was pretty much like that. Every time Ricky was finna engage and do some Ricky shit, break. That fight was rigged to me, in my opinion. I feel Ricky would have gave you some work. Whether you would have won the fight or not, I think Ricky would have gave your ass some work if you wouldn't have been on that scared to fight Ricky. Because Ricky's a scrapper. Ricky, to be real with y'all, Ricky was Marcos Maidana 2.0. Before Marcos Maidana. As crazy as that sounds, but I look back at how Ricky Hatton fought Floyd. He let Marcos Maidana fight him like that. Look at the fight. He let Marcos Maidana get rugged, get dirty, get grimy, do all kinds of shit. Floyd let Marcos Maidana do all kind of dirty shit. Hit him low, knee him, all kinds of shit. He did not want to fight that fight with Ricky Hatton because he knew if he let Ricky fight that fight, Ricky gonna beat his ass. Ricky would have whooped him. And Floyd didn't want to fight that fight. But he fought that fight with Maidana because Maidana ain't as sharp on the inside as Ricky Hatton. He not as tight on the inside as Ricky Hatton. He can get away from certain shots from Maidana. Couldn't get away from certain shots with Ricky that he could get away from Maidana. No, I wouldn't want him as my promoter, Los. Hell no. Hell no. To be real with you, I probably wouldn't do well as a professional boxer because at this particular time, I know Eddie Hearn will get me paid. Bob Arum, he'll give me some cool fights. PBC, I'll get paid, but I'll probably get put in some fucked up situations if I'm not if I don't speak Alahamic. So I don't really want to be in either one of them situations per se, because all Eddie Hearn gonna do is he'll get me paid, but not a lot of people will see me fight, especially if my name is not big enough, you know. And I wouldn't want to depend on nobody to do my promotion or anything like that when you got fighters like Anthony Joshua and Triple G and Canelo. Well, he don't have Canelo no more. But when you have big name fighters or fighters that have bigger names than I do, I'm not finna sit up there and expect you to go out your way to promote me. I'm gonna expect me to be my own promotion, you know. So, and then the division I would be in, I'd be at with the Devin Haney's, the Teofimos. I'd be at 135, 140 pounds. That's where I would be. So I would be in the mix, you know. So, and I would have to think like, who would I go with? I just wouldn't want to get caught up in the bullshit. MTK Global, I mean, that's still like Frank Warren and all that. I ain't fucking with Golden Boy. Fuck Golden Boy. Fuck Golden Boy. Let me tell you something. Let me holler at you real quick about this Golden Boy shit. Anytime you have arguably the number one pound for pound fighter on your stable, right? And you fuck that up royally, we got a problem. I was on a live stream with D Jeff. What was it about? Shout out to my boy D Jefferson, Speaking My Sports Talk. We was doing a live maybe some months ago at this time. And we were speaking about who was the worst promoter. And I said Oscar De La Hoya. And this was out of Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby. Right? I said De La Hoya. Now, the argument, because I said De La Hoya, they said that De La Hoya did what he was supposed to do. He got his fighter in the best possible position to make the fight happen, which is at this and now, and I felt this then, I just didn't have no proof. But at this time now, that is proven to be bullshit. He didn't get him in the best possible situation because Oscar De La Hoya did not have 11 top caliber opponents that they for sure had the money to pay for to compensate to basically fulfill the need of that 11 fight contract for Canelo Alvarez. He didn't have 11 fights. They just threw, we're going to give you 11 fights, and they threw this big ass number, and we thinking, oh, He finna get all this money. He's finna fight these top dudes. Yay, woo, woo, woo. And it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Nobody came forth with 11 opponents. He got Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs, and Sergey Kovalev. And they painted the illusion of a Triple G3 fight, which is now, we all know, ain't finna happen. So in all honesty, Oscar De La Hoya didn't do his job. Oscar De La Hoya is trying to outdo Floyd, even in retirement. Dare I say it. Oscar De La Hoya is still competing against Floyd Money Mayweather, even in retirement, even as a promoter. And I get they are going to compete because they're promoters, but I'm saying it's on a different, deeper level as promoters between De La Hoya and Floyd, because they've had this rivalry since they were fighters. And that rivalry stemmed over into them as promoters. To which De La Hoya thought, you talking shit about the zone in this app, I'm finna slide over here and get this $300 million contract, which ended up being bullshit. You ain't seen no $300 million, De La Hoya. We owe $300 million there. Instead, you end up losing Canelo. Now you got a lawsuit on your hands. Now you got to get this man his money. You ain't getting shit. And if you are getting shit, it ain't finna be close to no $300 million. Nah, I'm gonna check it out, Major Key. I'm gonna check that shit out. No Holly. But I want to give a special shout out to Canelo and his trainer, man. You got it. Eddie Reynoso is a real deal, man. You know, because right away, soon as he left the zone, instantly you got to fight. You got to fight. You got to date, all that. I got you, bro. I got you, Major Key. You got you. MKBZ. You know, you for sure got a major fight. As soon as he left the zone, they were already talking about him fighting Khalid Plant. Already. You got to give respect to Eddie Reynoso. And I don't see that enough. The only person that I've seen, and if anybody's seen anybody else, and if any content creator has done this, feel free to correct me in the comment section on the playback game. For sure. But I have not seen anybody basically give Eddie Reynoso the credit that he deserves, except for IBFP. Boxing Nuke is the only person that I've seen consistently give props and credit to Eddie Reynoso for the work that he's done for the sport of boxing, and with Canelo, and now having a Oscar Valdez and Ryan Garcia. And I'm telling you, Ryan Garcia, and looking at Ryan Garcia, Eddie Reynoso is making Ryan Garcia a much better boxer puncher. He's making him a lot better. He's looking like he may even display a little bit of head movement. Maybe. We'll see. But I like what Eddie Reynoso is doing for the sport of boxing. And I believe, thank you, Chainward, I just took the words out my mouth. I really believe that Eddie Reynoso should be trainer of the year. And I get what they want to say about Derrick James and all that type of shit. But Eddie Reynoso is very consistent. He's bringing fighters. He's getting new top fighters to come to the stable. I don't really see too many new top fighters coming to train with Derrick James. I see more fighters that, even though they're Mexican, to be clear, but I still see more top caliber fighters wanting to go train with Eddie Reynoso. The only person that is not really utilizing Eddie Reynoso the way he should is fucking I just forgot his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Andy Ruiz. So, but he's not, Andy Ruiz does not train. He doesn't work at his craft. If Andy Ruiz would focus on, it's Ruiz. If Andy Ruiz would focus on his craft more than worrying about what people are saying about him based on the lies that he's came forth and stated before the Anthony Joshua second fight, then he won't have no issues. But He's not trying to do that because Eddie Reynoso could have Ruiz even better because Ruiz ain't no slouch. He's a soft-spoken fat bitch at times, but the motherfucker can fight. I'm not going to take nothing from that short-armed T-Rex having fast hand Mexican fat fuck. I'm not going to take nothing away from that at all. The motherfucker can fight. And if you try to get in with him in the trenches, he going to piece you up. I give Andy Ruiz that, but he still be on some sucker soft bitch beta shit when he sat up there and talking about getting mad because people was talking shit about him. But hey, check this out, Andy. Your fat ass was up here photoshopping pictures and shit. Your fat ass was up here putting up fake old videos of you working out back in 2008 and shit. You was the one out here doing that dumb fuck shit. Meanwhile, your whole ass was up here eating milkshakes and having tostadas and tortillas and burritos and shit. So you can't get mad at the public for ripping you a new asshole when you was sitting up there telling everybody that you was training and you was working out and you was getting in good shape, photoshopping pictures and shit because Joshua showed that he was really losing weight and getting lean and cut up for you. That's your ass. You was the one out here lying. So if you're going to be mad at yourself. Don't get mad at the public for calling you out for the cheap bitch bullshit motherfucker that you was. Because at the end of the day, all you got to do, Andy, is fight, whoop some ass, and all will be forgiven. All will be forgiven. Colin Smith is not going to knock out Canelo, Mondo. You just don't like Canelo. You like the biggest Canelo hater of all, Mondo. And I love you. I love you. You've been here since I had 100 subs. I love you, Mondo. You know I got love for you to death. But you are like the biggest Canelo hater I've ever seen in all of my YouTube captivity. But I love you, though. You my dog. You my dog. I love you. But you can't wait to see Canelo lose. I know you can't. It's like it's ants in your pants. You're itching for a Canelo loss. Itching for it. But I still love you though. I love you though. You my dog. But Eddie Reynoso should be. I think Eddie Reynoso is a more fundamentally sound trainer than a lot of trainers in the game. I think he's arguably better than Derrick James. I think he is. I know you give him props. You do. But you be hating on Nello. Like you became what? Like he gonna lose. He fight Kovalev. Kovalev gonna beat him. He beats Kovalev. It was rigged. Fight was rigged. So yeah, but you my dog though. I always love you. But shout out my boy Mondo Solo. That's my boy. That's my dog. That's my nigga. Even if he ain't gonna get no bigger. I don't give a fuck. But I do think that there are a lot of people that give Canelo a bad situation when really Canelo was just doing what he felt was right for his career, listening to his promoter and Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar De La Hoya was just looking for a check. All Oscar was doing was looking for a check. That's all Oscar was looking for. That's it. And he slid in. He got that little money, but he didn't get all of it. All right, bet. I got you, Mondo. My fault. It's not too many. I wouldn't say it's too many Canelo haters. You got to understand that nowadays fighters don't get praised for fighting everybody. Fighters don't get praised for fighting everybody nowadays. Nowadays, it's all about promotion. It's all about marketing. That's it. That's all it is. It's not about really fighting the best. I've said this many times over. It's not about that. It's literally about who can make the most money, who can look like the bigger star in boxing. Floyd fucked up the sport of boxing in that way because it's not about fighting the best. When Floyd said, you could be the best boxer, I'll be the smartest or I'll be the richest. That's what Floyd cared about. That's what he likes to hear. Man, you're the smartest guy to ever box. You're the richest guy. You're the guy that made the most money in boxing and da 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 da. When in actuality, In actuality, Floyd managed his money right, and he bet on himself. So you got to understand. What's up, Lisa Bell's first lady of the YTBC in the building? What it do? You got to understand that Floyd knew what he was doing. He would take money and bet on himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew money. He understood money and how to manipulate it and use it to bend to his will. Unlike some fighters or some athletes did not do. So for that, Floyd is a genius. He is. But at the same time, he fucked up the game in the sense that everybody ain't Floyd. Everybody didn't put in the work that Floyd put in. Everybody didn't fight go through the pretty boy Floyd face, and he knew that. And the cold part about it is Floyd said that shit and then gonna contradict that shit and then have his fighters basically go against that whole mantra, which makes no sense. You're gonna sit up there and say these fighters getting paid too much, they're getting paid too much, but then at the same time, you're gonna justify why these fighters aren't fighting the best fighters in boxing today. But at the same time, say they're getting paid too much. Yeah, exactly, Lance. That's what happens. That's what happened with Teofimo. They did all that talking. It's funny how the before and after is the most hilarious shit you will ever see when a fighter loses that you don't expect to lose, or you really see how delusional a fan base is when a fighter loses that people don't think will lose or can lose to a particular fighter or just at all. Because soon as Loma lost to Teofimo, this is exactly what happened. What Lance Meyer is saying right here. This is exactly what happened. Oh, you beat Loma? Oh, Loma ain't shit. His resume ain't shit. His daddy wasn't shit. All that. All of a sudden, Loma was larger than life, fastest man to win a world title in boxing, which is not easy to do. Nobody really does that. What's up, Jace? No one does no shit like that. And Loma does it. Loma fights nothing but champions. Nothing but champions, right? Nothing. After that. Then all of a sudden, he loses. Now he ain't shit. He ain't fight nobody. He garbage. All of a sudden. Canelo, 4-division world champion. He ain't shit. He ain't fight nobody. The only person y'all shit on Canelo about is Rocky Fielding. And to be real with y'all, to be real and to be fair, it's not Canelo's fault that Rocky Fielding was the only person, more likely at 68, really willing to fight Canelo. What is this? Bagel. Thank you. For real. Holla. What's up, Holla? Holla, holla, holla. Holla. Holla, holla, holla. Holla. Like, you gotta be freaking kidding me, man. Damn. Shit really went nuts on the cream cheese. That's all I'm saying. You gonna shit on. This is what I'm saying. The same people, this is a contradiction. The same people that shit on Canelo fighting Rocky Fielding are the same people that will praise Tank Davis for fighting fighters moving up just because they got a name at the lower weight classes. I bet you if Regan Diao went up in weight to fight Tank Davis and Tank beat the shit out of him, they'd say, Tank knocked out Regan Diao, even though Regan Diao is like a 118-pound fighter. They'll say that shit in a heartbeat. And Floyd will back that shit up to the life. Yep, he fought Regan Diao. Two-time Olympic gold medalist, great counter puncher. Like, they will do everything in their power to justify a win over a lower opposition type of opponent, which he had no business fighting at all. They'll do that dumb shit. Exactly. People are mad. Let me put up what Jay Smith the Zone said. People are mad at the zone, but happy to pay $75 for Jamal versus Dennis Hogan. Makes no fucking sense. No sense. Pay $20 or $10, $15 a month. You can see whatever fight. If it's pay-per-view, you can see that shit, all the shit. You just pay for this little app. Bam, you see everything. Versus you paying $75 to see Jamal Charlo fight Dennis Hogan or Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz, which in all honesty, in my opinion, Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz is not a pay-per-view fight. It's an insult. It is an insult. Thank you, Bob Arum. Thank you, ESPN. Thank you, Top Rank, for giving us two top-tier fighters fighting in their prime for all the marbles on free TV. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because the fact that you had to hype up Tank's fight tells me all I need to know. The Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko fight was the most sought after viewed fight this year. Nobody wanted to see no other fight aside from Wilder Fury 3. That was the only fight people wanted to see more than Teofimo Lomachenko. But as far as 2020, the fight that everybody wanted to see aside from Wilder Fury 3 was Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. And we got that fight for free. Was it nobody talking about Leo Santa Cruz versus Gervonta Tank Davis for the past 2 fucking years straight? No, it wasn't happening at all. If anything, we was trying to see Tank Davis fight a top tier opponent. We was trying to see that shit, but we wasn't talking about Leo Santa Cruz fighting fucking Gervonta Tank Davis. Hell, we was barely able to get, we was too busy talking about him fighting Abner Morris, who just lost to Leo Santa Cruz. And that was a step-up fight, in a sense, for Tank Davis. And he was supposed to fight him, I think, in January of last year. Didn't happen because because Abner got hurt. He actually got injured. I think he hurt his eye or something like that in training. And the fight got canceled. And that was technically a step-up fight. But we all knew, because Abner Morris is a fucking punching bag, we knew Tank was going to knock out Abner Morris. We knew what was finna happen. We knew. But, hey, Major Key B, MKB, check this out. If Canelo washes Callum Smith, or if he just makes an easy fight, they're going to say it was rigged. Canelo will never get credit for anything. Anything. They will not credit Canelo for anything that he does. They don't want to. Thank you, Lisa. Now, Holla, you're right. It was a good fight, but it wasn't pay-per-view worthy. It wasn't. I think if you would have flipped it, it'd have made more sense. If you would have put Leo Santa Cruz and Tank Davis on regular Fox television, right, and put Teofimo and Loma on pay-per-view, I think people would have been more prone, more willing to pay for that. No questions, hands down. They would have. But the thing is, and that's another thing that's phony in boxing now. I don't need to go to PBC for y'all to give me credit. I'm a boxer. I'm a fighter. I fight. That's what I do. I don't have time to sit up here and be all political, bro. Save the politics for the politicians. That's why I told y'all that these promoters ain't nothing but politicians. That's all they are. And some of these boxers are just falling into the gap and becoming politicians. Because Tank is really a featherweight. He's not a lightweight. Tank is really a featherweight. For real, for real. He's not going to make it at 35. If Leo Santa Cruz is able to touch you up like that, you ain't going to make it at 35. because them dudes hit harder than Leo Santa Cruz. You ain't gonna make it. Tank is a featherweight. He'll dominate. He'll even fight cool at featherweight, but nah. Tank is not a lightweight. For real, for real. Not at all. But if I gotta go to the zone to get paid, like if I want to get paid, go to the zone. If I want to be on the most sought out sports network in the world, fight on Top Rank. If I want to fight on another major network or just fight on the pay-per-view just to fight on the pay-per-view, go to PBC. But as far as these cats not working together, it's all because each one wants to be the guy. Nobody wants to sacrifice whatever title and dummy down just to make a fight happen. They don't want to do that. Each promoter wants to be the A side. Each promoter wants to get the most money at the gate. Each promoter wants to get the most for him and his fighter, which in a sense is okay. And you're supposed to do that. But it comes a time where greed comes into play. It comes a time where some shit you got to put your pride aside because you want to make the fight happen. And some things that you don't think we're going to make money is going to make probably more money than you think. Just because you don't see the numbers up front don't mean it won't do numbers afterwards. For real, for real. And the problem is these promoters aren't confident in the numbers as much as they say they are. And they're afraid of losing whatever stock they hold in this boxing world. That's why Tank ain't finna fight nobody that's really credible. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Tank not gonna fight no top dude. Wilder is gonna stay within the WBC. If you notice, Wilder will never hold a belt outside the WBC. He'll never hold a WBA belt. He'll never hold an IBF belt. He'll never even hold an IBO belt. He'll never hold an IBF belt. Wilder will never hold nothing but a WBC belt because the WBC is triggered and built. Wouldn't say built for Wilder, but the way that it is built, it's tailor-made and fit for Wilder to just stay within that. He will never get any other belt aside from the WBC. He will manipulate his way to stay within that to win whatever belt the WBC got so he can stake a claim in this shit to maintain his relevance in the sport of boxing or just in the world in general. Because Wilder without a belt, he just a bitch. He a bitch with one, but I'm saying Wilder without a belt, it's like he has no value. He has no weight. So they got to add some validity to him still, even though he a bitch as far as his boxing shit is concerned. Yeah, he ducked White. He told White he said that shit like, I don't have to fight you for 2 years, which ended up being 3. But still, like, bruh, you openly said you don't have to fight him. And then, this is the dumb shit. When everybody say that Dillian White ducked Luis Ortiz, right? Right? My thing is, who is Luis Ortiz to Dillian White? What has Luis Ortiz done that makes him where he needs to fight Dillian White? The biggest name on Luis Ortiz's resume is Brian Jennings, and Dennis Allen. Do y'all hear me? The biggest wins I haven't looked into that, so I can't say yes or no. I haven't looked into the White Hunter situation, so I can't give you a definite answer. You mean to tell me, with a straight face, that Dillian White was supposed to break his neck to fight a guy whose biggest names on his resume is Dennis Allen and Brian Jennings, when I have, me being Dillian White, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua? Why do I have to fight you? I already have bigger names on my resume. I don't need you. I've already contended for a world title. I've already have fought on the highest of high. Deontay Wilder made Luis Ortiz famous. That's really what it is. By Deontay Wilder constantly saying his name and his fan base constantly hearing his name, all that shit. He ducked Luis Ortiz. He ducked Luis. Who the fuck is Luis Ortiz? Who? Some old Cuban dude who's a decent boxer, whose biggest wins, Dave Allen and fucking Bryant Jennings. That's it. That's it. And he's supposed to break his neck to fight that guy? For him. It's the same dude that cut out and left Matchroom when Matchroom was actually going to make the fight happen with Dillian White. Check the stats, bro. Check your articles, man. Check your stats. Okay? I've even made a video said they both ducked each other because Dillian White received the contract, turned it down. He even said he got a contract, didn't like it, he turned it down. Then he said he went back and sent Luis Ortiz a contract, and Luis Ortiz turned the contract down and left Matchroom and went to PBC. So, in all honesty, they both ran from each other because both of them didn't, whatever the contract was, they didn't accept the terms. Period. So to say White ducked Ortiz is bullshit. To say Ortiz ducked White, bro, they both did not do what was necessary to make the fight happen. And Ortiz is not a credible fucking opponent. He's not. You can say he is for whatever reason, but he's not a credible opponent. He's not. How many people really looking? Let me tell you something. Alpha males look to test themselves. If Luis Ortiz was really a top dude, for real, a real top cat, trust and believe, he would have fought Anthony Joshua if he was a real dog. If he really knew he could be something out here in this boxing shit, he would have fought Anthony Joshua. He wouldn't have stepped over a whole fucking band of hundreds to pick up a couple of pennies. That wouldn't have happened. No, because Ortiz is over here in America, and he got these Americans telling him how to do his shit. Oh, we can get you all this money. We can get you all this money. And when you coming from nothing, that shit sound good. But I wouldn't have turned down that Joshua money, though. That just lets you know the influence that they got to where he could turn down his biggest payday to fight Wilder for nothing. You gotta think about that. These fighters and promoters, their pride is so big, they're turning down career paydays. My thing is with Tank is how is his punch resistance? What's his heart like? What he gonna do when he fight somebody that's like Maidana? But Luis Ortiz ain't nobody, bro. When he didn't take the Joshua fight for $7 million or $5 million or whatever to fight Wilder for only what, $800,000? That made no sense. Yeah, he priced himself out. He wanted like 2 or 3 million or some shit like that. And it's like, dude, that's ridiculous. And that's another thing. Even Danny Garcia said it. And the thing is, y'all don't be listening to these fighters when they talk, because they tell you everything. They tell you everything. It's just that people don't listen because they too busy being fans, or they take the information that they get from their favorite fighter and use it against whomever is an opponent or an adversary to their favorite fighter or their favorite promotional company. I'm more worried. I think with the Charlos, Will Cash, I think Jamal in trouble. I think Jamal is in trouble. I really do. And that has nothing to do with his personality. Has nothing to do with that. They do know, Lance. They know. They know. All of them, just like with the Wilder Fury situation, they knew they wasn't finna fight Fury. They was talking to Marcelo Suleiman about the little bridge. They was already, bruh. You think everything they doing is premeditated. They knew what they was doing, bruh. They knew. They knew exactly what they was doing. They knew they wasn't finna take the fight. They knew they wasn't finna do none of that shit. They knew the length of the contract and how long it was supposed to last and all the expiration date. They knew all of that. And they still let it happen. Right. Exactly. Like you ain't never made that kind of money. Never. Don't make no sense. It's like when everything that came forth pertaining to Wilder actually ducking Joshua for the Fury fight, all that shit that happened during the Wilder and Joshua, all that, bro, it was literally bullshit. Fuck the LDBC. All them niggas knew that whole time it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Joshua ducking Wilder, Dillian White need to fight. All that shit was bullshit. Them bitch ass niggas for 9, Fanny Nanny, 78, BFTB. All them bitch ass hoe ass niggas knew what was real. It's gonna come out. This is a message to all you LDBC bitch ass niggas, you followers, you fanboys. Feel free to skip to 1 hour and 5 minutes in this bitch. All y'all some hoe ass niggas. Y'all knew. Y'all knew. Now what y'all gonna say? Your man, the dude y'all praise all the time, the dude that y'all sit there and boss up and all that, he just came out and told us that he ducked Joshua. He came out and said it. We've been saying it the whole time. Common sense like a motherfucker. And I've been told you bitch ass niggas that it's gonna come out sooner or later. Sooner or later. The motherfucker was going to expose himself sooner or later. You can't keep a lie like that up forever. It's going to get exposed sooner or later. Period, point blank. What's up, Tony? Tony Lyons in the building. What it do, man? Shout out to the UK. No, Ortiz don't even speak English. Exactly. They want to push that bullshit narrative. I ain't here for that. Fuck the LDBC. Y'all knew. Y'all knew. And y'all still making excuses for the bitch. Y'all still making excuses and justifications for this nigga. For this grown ass shit stain in boxing. Y'all making all the excuses in the world for him. When a real man don't make excuses, they make shit happen. And it don't make no good damn sense. Wilder's a disgrace and all that shit y'all talking about, that he going to court now. No, nigga, they would have been went to court. And the cold thing about it is a lot of you YouTubers on here doing the same shit these LDBC niggas is doing. Y'all doing shit for clicks. Yeah, now I'm finna go in on all you hoe ass niggas. Doing shit for clicks. Doing the same shit the LDBC doing. Everything is for clicks. Click, clicks, click, 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 click. Likes and all. Y'all ain't about the sport of boxing. Y'all on here for clicks. Y'all building your channels, talking about one fighter. Any fighter that's actually good, just shit on him. Like, thank you, Will Cash. Talking about Canelo's on steroids and all this shit, bro. All that. Y'all not here to talk about boxing, but didn't say shit about Wilder brother when he was caught on the juice. Didn't say shit about him. But all y'all want to do is talk about the top fighters, the guys that really want to get in there and be the great, be a real Hall of Famer. Y'all not about boxing. None of you niggas of the LDBC, none of you are about boxing. Y'all are about the narrative. All you bitch ass niggas. All y'all are about a narrative and how to keep the narrative rolling. It ain't got shit to do with boxing. So all I'm doing is sitting back and I'm watching how everything that Wilder's doing is exposing how much of a fraud the LDBC is. You all are a fraud. All of you. Anybody that claim that shit, you's a fraud. You're not about the sport of boxing. What's up, Zach? Fuck the boxing boys. Fuck Nesto. Fuck that snitch ass nigga. That's the same bitch that'll sit behind a motherfucking computer and talk hella shit about you and then get in your face as soon as you're ready to punch him in his face, you want to call the motherfucking police. That's a bitch ass nigga. I don't respect that. Don't get behind the motherfucking camera and talk shit about motherfuckers. And then when they ready to fight you, now you want to bitch up and say, I'm going to call the police. I got a lot of you motherfuckers didn't threaten me. A lot of y'all. And I done already told you, I'm out here in Fairfield, Oakland, California. That's where the fuck I'm at. People know me by DT. They don't know me by DT3. They just know me by DT. That's what they know. Y'all know what I look like. I don't look no different than I did this morning. But all y'all are some bitches. Especially you LDBC fanboys who want to sit there and want to threaten to fight me because I don't like Wilder. Because Wilder's a bitch. Because Wilder wants to hide behind the LDBC and Fannie Nanny and Shelley Finkel and Alan Heyman. You mad because I don't support that shit? I don't really care about how he looked on the mitts and the pads. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, that's an illusion too. He looks like he's supposed to. He looked like he's in shape. He looks sharp. He looks cool. He looked like Errol motherfucking Spence. I don't expect him to look any different than that. But I want to see what the fuck is going to happen when Danny Garcia hit him with a straight right hand or a left hook. Yeah, I got that from Bruce fucking Vane. Shout out Bruce Vane. Yeah. Fuck Fannie Nanny. What's up, JR? So, as far as anybody, bruh, let me tell you something. They not boxing fans. They old men that are bitches. Okay? Now, 78, from what I've seen right here, he's a smart guy. Smart dude. But you biased as fuck. And you be on some sucker bitch shit too. Because it's all cool if I talk shit about you. Oh, you don't give a fuck about me. I only got 6,100 subscribers. You don't give a fuck. But when Dante's Boxing Nation is calling y'all asses, oh, now it's a motherfucking problem, 78. Oh, now we got an issue. Now brothers got to stick together. Fuck you and that bullshit. For real, for real. Because on some real talk, we on our way. The NBBC, we on our way, bro. We on our way. And pretty soon, I will be pulling up on you, Mr. 78. And I will be hollering at you about your bullshit too. Hopefully I'm unblocked by now, because last time I was blocked. Hopefully I'm unmuted or unblocked by now, because your moderators blocked me and all that shit. So let's see if I'm not blocked or muted when I come back to your channel, Mr. 78. Because I will make an appearance, Mr. 78. And I know you bitch-ass LDBC fanboy niggas that slid your whole asses up in here. Because the moment I said LDBC shit, that's when all you niggas started to pop the fuck up in this bitch. And that's another one of y'all whole ass niggas' problems. Fuck Akai TV too. I don't like that nigga either. That nigga be on some sucker shit too. He say whatever Dante, he a follower. He say whatever Dante's Boxing Nation say. Whatever the narrative is, that's what he follow. Bitch, shit. All the motherfuckers that rock with the NBBC, bro, original own niggas. Or their own men, if you don't like the N-word. They all their own men. Myra Magnus, own man. Andrew Chuckersworth, own man. Mr. Two Hands Up, own man. DT3 the Boom Man, own man. We do our own thing. And the fact that we all do our own shit and we could come together and talk some real shit, that's some real boxing talk. We don't suit to no narrative. We don't cater to no narrative. Two Hands ain't gonna say some shit because I said it unless he agree with it. He ain't gonna not agree with it and just say, well, that's what we own, so I'm just gonna do it. No, ain't no blind followers over here with the NBBC, bro, like the LDBC. Fuck them niggas. Straight up. Joshua is not a gimp. See, there go one of y'all. Soon as I say that shit, now y'all want to come in here with the Joshua hate. Now we got Joshua's a gimp. How he a gimp? You a Wilder fan. What about Nuke? I don't got nothing bad to say about Nuke. What about Nuke? What about Nuke, Jace? I don't got no problems with Nuke. None. I'm not a fan of no heavyweight in boxing. I'm not a fan of no heavyweight. I'm not a fan of Anthony Joshua. I'm not a fan of Tyson Fury. I'm not a fan of none of them. None of them. Must be a Wilder fan. I want all you hoe ass niggas to come up in here. Even some of you YouTube content creators that get on my fucking nerves that be making bullshit. Every time somebody make this video or they say something, y'all gotta gossip about that shit. Nah, bruh. It's bullshit. He like Two Hands just cause y'all. I don't know. I haven't seen that from Nuke for real. Nuke covered Canelo. That's what he do. That's what I know. I know Nuke covered Canelo. That's what he do. He don't cover boxing as a whole. He covered Canelo, Ryan Garcia. He covered anybody that Eddie Reynoso pretty much trained, or that's a part of Canelo's camp. He caters to that, to the Mexican fan base. That's what he do. He's soft, but he has pretty much arguably the best resume in the heavyweight division. You're a Wilder fan. AJ is arguably the biggest draw in boxing. People pay to see him fight. Ain't nobody trying to walk up to pay to see Wilder fight. You just a pure hater, Mr. Jones. Wilder ain't nobody. Oh, you're a Fury fan. You're one of them. Oh, okay. So you've been listening to the Gypsy King too much. Who said he gotta make it in America? Who made America the second coming of Jesus in boxing? I mean, you could call it what you want to, but to be real with you, I don't feel he needs to come over to be made in America. I mean, to be real with you, Anthony Joshua is still worth more. He still brings more to the table than Tyson Fury. He still holds more than Tyson Fury. He still has more accomplishments in boxing than Tyson Fury. He's fought more top 10 opposition within his first 20 fights than Tyson Fury. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. He a gimp, but he got more top 10 oppositions within his first 20 fights, unlike Tyson Fury, who don't have that. Come on now. Skill-wise, I would say Fury he's a paper champion. Do you know what a paper champion is? Devin Haney's a paper champion. You know why he's a paper champion? Because they gave him a belt. He didn't beat nobody for the belt. Anthony Joshua beat arguably the best Wladimir Klitschko that was ever manifested in boxing. Literally. Put him on his ass. Knockout artist. And when he fought Klitschko, nobody thought Anthony Joshua was going to beat Klitschko when they fought. Everybody thought he was in over his head. You forget that. But because he beat him and he knocked him out, now y'all want to say he's a paper champion. Now y'all want to hate. That's the bullshit I'm talking about. When a fighter actually gets in there with everybody and beats him, then y'all want to say this bitch shit right here, that Joshua is a paper champion, when the motherfucker fought everybody that they put in front of him and beat him. How many top 10 or top 5 opponents does Tyson Fury have within his last 10 fights? Who said we was betting? I don't bet. I don't bet on nothing. I don't bet on fights. I don't bet on none of that shit. I don't do that. That's what I don't do. You could. I know somebody you can bet though that'll gladly take your money. He was unbeaten for 11 years, Klitschko. What are you implying with that, son? What are you implying with that, son? That he was unbeaten for 11 years. You say that to say what? Because I don't duck no shit like that. What you talking about? Oh, yes, they can, JR. They can be all kinds of stupid. Yeah, Haney is the Gmail champion. That's good for Fury. That's great that you could beat a guy without throwing punches. That's great. I mean, the fact that you could beat a guy with ring generalship and feints, bro, that's awesome. I give you credit for that. That's great. You beat arguably one of the best knockout artists in heavyweight history with feints and ring generalship. Awesome. That's awesome. Making him gunshot. That's great. That's great. So what does having a O, right? That O does not make you the better fighter. You'd be surprised how much a loss. So y'all think a fighter is good because he never lost. That is the misconception and ignorance that all y'all have about combat sports. Y'all think a loss makes you weaker or worse. That's terrible. He was unbeaten. He was this. He was that. Anthony Joshua was not supposed to beat Klitschko. I like how you overrunning the fact that when the Joshua Klitschko fight was made, right? When that fight was announced, everybody was saying, and you was probably one of those same people saying like, hey, I don't think Joshua should take that fight, man. I don't think that. I don't think he should take that fight. I don't think he should do that. And guess what? He took it and he won. Hold on, where Conor being at? Where Conor being at? Yeah, I mean he could hype him up for the Klitschko thing, but after he beat Klitschko, the nigga got drunk and high and started snorting coke and couldn't handle the publicity and fame and didn't defend his belt not one time. But meanwhile, Anthony Joshua has defended his belt, won the belt, beat the guy with his fist, actually put him on his ass, defended the belt, lost it, got it back. Now, he didn't lose it to dope. He didn't lose it to dope in actual life. He lost it actually in a fight, in a ring, making a mistake, underestimating his opponent, got his ass back up, got in better condition, better shape, and beat the guy and became a 2-time unified heavyweight champion. That's not true, Mr. Jones, because Anthony Joshua wanted to make the fight with Tyson Fury before Tyson Fury made the fight with Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury could have fought Anthony Joshua and got all his belts back, and he said himself that he did not want to make the fight happen because he already had all the belts that Anthony Joshua have. He wants to get the WBC belt. That was his reason to justify why he turned down the AJ fight, because he said he already had all the belts AJ got, so he wants the WBC belt. That's the only belt he hasn't had. So with that being said, he was the one that ducked AJ. I mean, keep it coming. I can do this shit all day, bro. You know what I'm saying? I get you a Fury fan. I understand you a Fury fan, and I respected you a Fury fan. But for real, you hyping it. You hyping it. He offered to fight him his first fight back. Right. Even though he said he wasn't ready to fight. This is the same. Think about this for a second. Now, you got to understand, Fury be bullshitting. And now I need y'all to understand the blind delusion of fanboys, okay? All right? And the guy to actually look at all the shit. And because now you have to resort to insults because you can't debate me, literally. So you have to basically result to insults. So let me tell you again, when you say Fury offered to fight Joshua in his first fight back, you chump. But isn't Fury the same guy that said he didn't want to fight Wilder fresh off the back because he needed to get himself in shape and lose weight and all this stuff? And if he felt that Wilder was the easier, this Fury now feels that Wilder is the easier opponent, right? He feels he's the easier opponent. Why wouldn't he take the fight with Wilder and just fight him fresh out the back instead of fighting Otto Wallin and who was the other guy? Otto Wallin and damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. What's up, Crazy Queen? He wouldn't have took them 2 fights if he felt that he could have beat Anthony Joshua. He would have just went right into the Wilder fight. Tom Schwartz, thank you. He wouldn't have fought Tom Schwartz and he wouldn't have fought Otto Wallin. That would not have happened. He would have went straight to Wilder and fought Wilder. Because he said before that he did not want to fight AJ because he had all the belts already that AJ got. He never had the belt Wilder got. That's what he wants. He said that in multiple MTK Global interviews. Feel free to check them out. Shout out MTK Global. But he didn't fight Joshua, right? And Tyson Fury is the same guy that said that Joshua is the real deal before he even came back to boxing. Then when he come back, he wants to start talking shit about Anthony Joshua. Why? Because it'll give him publicity. Because Anthony Joshua is the man. Betting you does not make you right. And not betting you doesn't make me wrong. So I'm not going to bet you to cater to your ego. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm good, Crazy Queen. Just chilling. Chilling like a villain. Chilling like a villain. You gotta think. I'm not betting you. You could say a penny, bro. I'm not gonna bet you. Because betting you doesn't prove anything. What proves anything is when AJ and Fury fight. That's what's going to prove. Because that is the biggest fight in Great Britain. Biggest fight. And if they were to fight for all the marbles, it's the biggest fight in boxing. The problem is it's too much unnecessary racism in boxing with America and UK, even though we're fucking allies, technically. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, it shouldn't be that much division between the two. I want to see all these fights happen, but these fights aren't happening right now. I get it. You don't like Joshua. because you're a Fury fan. And that's what we get. Okay? Fury fan. All right? He don't like AJ. All right? No matter what AJ do, whatever Fury say, okay, what does that have to do with him as a fighter? See, y'all get personal. I don't care about just like BFTV bitch ass, right? Somebody was on his channel. This was a while back. This was like right before, I think, Ruiz, the first one. I think it was either before the first Ruiz fight or right after the first Ruiz fight, right? I was gonna go debate him on some shit, right? But when I saw his argument against Joshua based on somebody giving him facts, right? When I saw the argument of him showing AJ, I guess, in the hot tub or at some hot springs, right? And he's with some guys, right? Like, well, how do you explain this if you're a fan of him? And I'm like, that don't got shit to do with boxing. What he does in his personal life is his business. Anthony Joshua could be the biggest faggot outside of boxing. And I'm not saying that he is, and I'm not trying to diss anybody that is a homosexual. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that could be him. And I'm not saying it is. I'm just hypothetically speaking here. Okay? That could be his business. That has nothing to do with boxing. That does not make your debate relevant or correct because of what he does in his personal time. So when y'all start to attack fighters on a personal level, and a lot of y'all look for little shit. Spence is the A side in the Crawford Spence fight. He is the A side. He's a unified welterweight champion of the world. He holds more titles. He's the A side. Can't argue that. So what superior black race comments did he say to Fast Eddie Chambers? No, Crawford is not the A side in the Spence fight. It's not happening. That fight is not going to happen, but Errol Spence is the A side in the Crawford fight. Terrence Crawford, it's the same. Like, remember what I told y'all. See, like I said, I keep the same energy. I said to y'all, there's no way in the Wilder Joshua fight that Wilder is the A side. That was an argument for a long time. Okay? And there's no way, right? Anthony Joshua is a unified champion. He holds 4 belts. Okay? He's the guy. Wilder only holds 1. Okay? You see the analogy here. Errol Spence holds 2 belts, IBF and the WBC. He holds 2 titles. He's a unified champion. Terrence Crawford only holds 1 belt in the WBO. So common sense or naturally, Errol Spence is the A side because he holds 2 titles. He's a unified champion. His stability, his status is higher. Regardless of how much, it is still higher. You cannot say that Crawford is the A side because of his past achievements. Okay? That don't make him the A side. All right? Period. That's like if Teofimo moves up to 140 and fights the winner of Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, Teofimo will not be the A side because he was the undisputed champion at 135 pounds. He's still going to be the B side because he's moving up to fight the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. So don't get the two confused. Or even if Teofimo was to move up to 140, win a belt at 140, and still fight for the undisputed title at 140 pounds, even though he was undisputed at 135 pounds, he still is the B side fighting for the undisputed belt because he's fighting the actual unified champion at 140 pounds. Okay? I do have that same energy. I ain't said nothing. I said kissing babies and shit and scaring babies when he was yelling bomb squad. I like how y'all take little shit and y'all flip it to bend to your will. Shout out to the MXBC. I do be giving y'all a little credit, but y'all be reaching though. But at the same time, don't be trying to find little shit because you a Wilder fanboy and try to shit on me thinking that you're going to find a little quote that I said and try to flip it against me, bro. I'm not that nigga, bro. I'm not that. Okay, Smoking Joe. Who, and this is where Floyd is one of the rarest people to be able to utilize this, right? Who was a bigger name when Floyd retired? And when Floyd came back to boxing, who was a bigger name? Floyd was still popular. Floyd was still selling all the shit. And then you got to think, the fighters that he was fighting, did they have more notoriety, more fame, more anything to him? No, they didn't. Floyd was always a pay-per-view star. If you fought Floyd, it didn't matter if he retired or whatever. You still fought Floyd on pay-per-view. Floyd was a pay-per-view star during his career, and even when he retired and he come back, it's going to always be pay-per-view. So you can't compare what Floyd accomplished and created for himself to the fighters of today. Because in a sense, Floyd ain't got no belts now, Smoking Joe. And if Floyd was to come back today and say he was fighting Errol Spence, you already know Floyd's still going to be the A side, even though Errol Spence is the unified welterweight champion. You already know Floyd going to manipulate dip some shit, and he going to be the A side because he's Floyd Mayweather. Look, one thing I will say, if anybody in the heavyweight division get caught with a good punch, they're going to be on Wobble Street. Not a lot of heavyweights got good defense. Tyson Fury arguably has the best defense in the heavyweight division. I wouldn't say that. Because if you want to be technical at the lightweights, Tank Davis is the bigger draw. But he's not an A-side. He's a bigger draw because he's the money man of the lightweights. But Teofimo is the A-side. You think Teofimo going to be the B-side to Tank Davis? You think, Smoking Joe, that Teofimo Lopez is going to be the B-side to Tank Davis? Do you see how corrupt and fucked up boxing is, bro? And I'm not saying you wrong for that statement. Let me click on the statement that he said. And he's not really wrong for this statement. He's not wrong. So don't get my boy Smoking Joe fucked up. He's not wrong for this. But what I'm saying is, Teofimo Lopez is not finna step dummy down and be the B-side to Tank Davis. You think Lomachenko would step down and be the B-side to Tank Davis if he had a belt? Usyk ain't gonna make it at heavyweight. He gonna get clipped. That's coming. That's coming soon enough. Usyk gonna get clipped. Derek Chisora, arguably, you could arguably say that he pretty much he could have won that fight. Usyk not gonna make it. I saw that with Derek Chisora. You see how Derek Chisora did it. But the reason why I'm saying that, Smoker Joe, I'm not saying that because I believe it. I'm saying that because that's how he's being pushed. When you have Floyd Mayweather on ESPN saying, and you have analysts on ESPN saying that Tank Davis is the draw in lightweight. He's the draw. He's the money man at lightweight. But if you want money, a decent check, yeah, you'll fight Tank. Legacy, you fight Teofimo. But Teofimo is the man. If you're going to say, and this is what I'm saying, if people are going to say that Errol Spence, this is how fucked up boxing is. If you're going to say Errol Spence is the A side over Crawford, even though Crawford is more accomplished, but you're going to say that Errol Spence is the A side, but at the same time say that somebody without any world titles in the division, and because he's fought on pay-per-view not even a handful of times, maybe twice, with no title, is the A side over the guy that has everything in that division, has all the accomplishments and the accolades in that division. He's not the A side. The guy that's pretty much the pay-per-view guy who's fought on pay-per-view twice is the A side over the guy who has every accolade and accomplishment in the division. Okay. Help me make that make sense. Yeah, he put it on blast. He sure did. He sure did put that fight on Blizz ass. But like I said, that's why I said thank you, Bob Arum. Thank you, ESPN. Thank you, Top Rank, for giving us 2 top 5 pound-for-pound fighters to fight for free. Thank you. Because what we got with this Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz shit, don't get me wrong, it was a good fight, but it wasn't worth no $75 fucking dollars. I can tell you that. It's all business, bro. It doesn't matter how they are pushed. It's bums on seats and pay-per-view numbers, and at the highest level, merchandising and sponsors. That's what makes you a bigger draw. Now, my thing is this. What sponsors does Tank have? And by the way, don't get my boy Smoking Joe fucked up. This is actually true. So, my thing is, what sponsors do we have? What is Tank's? I mean, he just fought in he only headlined 1 pay-per-view, for real. So what numbers did that do? Because Floyd is saying that they do 5 million. They numbers be 5 million and 2 million. That's what Floyd is saying. That's what he said. That ain't me. That's Floyd. So I'm trying to figure. Matter of fact, let me help you out. Let me help y'all real quick. Send a special shout out to ESPN, Max Kellerman from First Take.
To Teofimo for doing what he did, but I mean, once again, we can't judge a guy. A guy is not great because he won 1 fight. To become a legendary great fighter, you must continue to go out there and beat good fighters and beat great fighters.
So, Floyd, what I mean is promoters are siloed with networks. We know who's where, right? So we're not even just asking purely about Teofimo because, of course, you're right. It's difficult for business reasons to cross networks, cross promotion, all that stuff, right? Everyone wants what they want. What we're really interested in, at least I'll speak for myself, I believe Stephen A. as well, is that the best fight the best regardless, just as fans. And you're saying you're willing to sit down with other promoters on different networks and see if those fights can happen. Teofimo or someone on DAZN, doesn't matter to us. That's very, like, from the boxing fans' point of view, that's what they want to hear. That's, I think, what we're getting at. Not just Teofimo specifically.
Well, our thing is how we work and how we operate. It must make business sense on our side, because we know no matter who Tank fight at lightweight, Tank has the biggest name at lightweight. Tank has one of the biggest names in the sport of boxing right now.
Now, Tank is not the biggest name at lightweight. That's false. I don't even think he's the bigger draw. I don't think he's a bigger draw. Just because you see him on Twitter hella much don't mean he's a better draw. Of course he ain't gonna answer the question properly. Of course he not. But I do think he's one of the biggest names in lightweight. That is true. Let's continue.
Well, of course, as far as with Canelo, because Canelo had, he fought Floyd Mayweather, he fought Triple G. What he fought? Who else? He fought the guy at light heavyweight.
Just knocked out
Kovalev. So my thing is this: we're all, as of right now, with the things Tank has done and the noise that he's making and how he's selling out arenas, he has to be the A side.
Now hold up. How the fuck Tank selling shit out during COVID? Huh? How the fuck is Gervonta Tank Davis selling anything the fuck out during COVID? Huh? Somebody tell me something. How, Floyd? How is Tank Davis selling anything out during COVID-19? Floyd? I missed it too. I missed it. What? Where? Who? Where? What arena? Ryan Garcia sold out more arenas than fucking Tank Davis. What the fuck? But let's continue.
Let me get to you, because I understand that you have retired. You're 50-0. You walked away from the game. You made a lot of money, but you did make news sometime last year when people were talking about you returning. Now, you're 43 years old, okay? You made more money than any boxer in history, but I'll be damned if you're going to be on this show and I ain't going to ask you, are you thinking about coming back, Floyd Money Mayweather, with the Terrence Crawford, with a Manny Pacquiao still fighting, with Errol Spence Jr., who got in a car accident, and God bless him, thank goodness that he's okay. But there's a few cats in the welterweight division. I want to know where your head is at as it pertains to you coming back in the ring, if at all possible.
Yes, I'm 43 years old, and I had a great career, a tremendous career, an unbelievable career. My focus is October 31st. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz.
Okay. And it's a big event. I agree Tank is a major draw. I think in light of Teo's win against Lomachenko, who the biggest draw is debatable, but we'll see how he does on pay-per-view.
Draws and nobody can refute that.
It's not debatable at all.
Gervonta's big time, but the point is, I still want to see him against somebody big time.
Teo and Lomachenko did the biggest rating in years.
Hold on. Their biggest rating on ESPN that you guys talk about. But when we got our fighters, because of course we got PBC as well as Mayweather Promotion. When we doing fights on Fox and also on Showtime, we don't have to go out there and talk about the ratings that we're doing. We're doing 4 million. We're doing 5 million. So we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, boxing rates.
Great. That's fair.
No, boxing.
Okay, so y'all tell me what event that PBC had on a consistent basis where they doing 2 million, 4 million, and 5 million fucking views or pay-per-view buys. You let me know. Somebody let me know. When the fuck is they doing them type of numbers? When and where? You heard it. This Floyd Mayweather, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith via ESPN First Take. Shout out. So this ain't no speculation shit. You heard it from Floyd himself. So I just want to know where they getting all these millions of buys and views from. Where? I just want to know. I'm like Marvin Gaye. I want to know what's going on. Let's continue.
I'm not denying that. I'm just saying.
You guys are not going to take nothing away from us. We do great numbers.
Does it sound like we're trying to take something away from you right now?
I am.
Well, I'm going to let you know that you're not going to take nothing away from us.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. We have you on, and we're happy to have you on, and we're happy to talk to Tank Davis.
Once again, Mayweather Promotions. We are the past and the present, and the future of sports and entertainment, and we will continue to go out there and dominate and beat the best. Me and my team.
I love it. We got that for.
Now, ain't that some shit? Hold up, I got more. Before I get my black ass bite, I got some more shit. What's this one? Okay, here we go.
Shout out to the one.
Hold on. Hold on.
I thought it was 3.
Hold on, I got some for you.
Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terrence Crawford as number 1.
How much do you separate the business from the competition, Floyd? Because a lot of times, to me, you put those two together and you're like, for example, when Stephen A brings up Santa Cruz, everyone knows Leo Santa Cruz can fight, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's moving up in weight, and he's not the kind of guy with like the fast twitchies we see in the fighters that we consider the elite of the elite.
So now we're going to say a guy, if I'm not mistaken, I think Lomo was able to jump, 4 weight classes? 3 or 4 weight classes?
3.
Now, y'all hear that? Now, I said it earlier, not too far from this point in the string. Feel free. I don't know where the timestamp is. But I said to you, he compared Leo Santa Cruz moving up 1 weight class, who is not defensively sound at all, to a Vasily Lomachenko moving up, who is technically, skillfully better than Leo Santa Cruz, which Floyd actually know this shit. But yet and still, he's going to compare Leo Santa Cruz moving up 1 weight class to Vasily Lomachenko in his great career moving up 3 weight classes as a means to justify Leo fighting Tank or Tank fighting Leo. Wait, there's more.
He went.
I thought it was 3.
Feather, junior, light. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 3.
So he's able to jump 3 weight classes, right?
Okay.
So Leo Santa Cruz, now he jumped 4 weight classes.
Yeah, Santa Cruz really good.
And okay, so I guess Loma was the real deal, but Santa Cruz is not the real deal.
I mean, Floyd, but there's some stuff you could, like when I say eyeball test, there's some dudes you watch and you go, okay, that guy's a little different. You know, and Santa Cruz is not one of these like Superman fighters. Tank, when you look at him, you go, those are different kinds of fast twitchies and punching power. And Leo Santa Cruz is a smaller guy moving up who's provided the fans with lots of thrills through the years. Excellent top fighter, but not a guy who someone looked at, like you say, maybe Tank has the potential to be number 1 pound for pound. No one ever looked at Santa Cruz and thought, yeah, he's going to be the best pound for pound fighter in the world.
Now, do y'all see how Floyd tried to use Leo Santa Cruz being a 4-division world champion who is technically a guy who was probably too big for those different weight classes? Like, he was a guy that more likely fought at like 118, 120, and was always the bigger guy, never the smaller guy, right? Leo Santa Cruz didn't move up to fight the bigger guys, bigger oppositions at the 140s and the 135s and the 47s. He didn't move up to fight the bigger guys, the bigger guys. Like, he ain't stay at 35, 30. All right, he's a 20, 26 pound fighter, period. All right, so to compare that, and mind you, skill-wise, just like what Max Kellerman said, you can tell when a guy skill-wise is that guy. You can tell. and you saw Leo Santa Cruz, and you didn't see no threats for Tank Floyd. You didn't see nothing about Leo Santa Cruz to make you say, hey, man, this dude might give me some problems. You saw Vasily Lomachenko and was like, hey, Tank, look, now, I know you want to fight him. I know you do, but you wait to fight him. When in reality, Floyd, you knew that Vasily Lomachenko would have beat the fuck out of Gervonta Tank Davis. So instead of you putting him out there to get embarrassed like that, you said, nah, we gonna go about your career different. By the time you'll be ready, understand what I just said to you. By the time you'll be ready to possibly fight him, he'll be too old. You'll just beat the shit out of him type shit. But Floyd, meaning, knows that Tank Davis is not ready for no Vasily Lomachenko. He knows that. So for Floyd to compare Leo Santa Cruz to Vasily Lomachenko because Loma actually moved up to fight bigger guys than him and was successful versus a guy who didn't really fight bigger dudes. These guys are not really bigger than Leo Santa Cruz. They're pretty either shorter than him or about his size. So you comparing that. Okay, Floyd. Well, let's continue.
So, but what I'm asking about is a more general question for you.
Just because Leo Santa Cruz don't have a huge following within America, still don't mean that he don't have a huge a Mexican background where a lot of Mexicans is following him.
That's what I'm asking. You've been the best at playing the boxing game. When you said TBE, in the ring, someone else can have that. I'm talking about the whole thing. You're right. You played the boxing game better than anyone. The way you think about it, which is a lot of times the way promoters think about it, is not just in terms of the quality of the athlete. Obviously, Santa Cruz is high quality, but also the business they generate, right? Stephen A's question seemed to speak only to the quality of the competition, not also to the business of boxing. How much of your decisions with Tank Davis incorporate the business of boxing? A guy who also brings a fan base, who doesn't maybe pose the maximum risk at that time.
I mean, if you guys are basically asking me, Tank is not scared of anyone. And the reason why we are not able to make certain fights with Top Rank is because it just, like I said before, and I talked about this the other day, as far as so many belts, so many champions. But if we can sit down and come to the table, I think that if Tank get past Leo, which I truly believe he can, it may not be easy, but then we move on and we fight one more fight, then hopefully a fight with Telefimo can be made.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why can't you sit down at the table and get those fights done?
Because
you're saying
hard
you sit down at the table. Why can't it happen?
It's not easy like you think it is. It's not easy just to go to sit down and say, well, I want this to happen, because you got guys that's very greedy and say, well, we want this and we want this.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it yourself. That's what he on. Y'all heard it. It's always Bob. It's Bob. It's not easy to sit at the table with Top Rank. It's not easy to sit with them. Got one more for you. Hold on.
Why is this a must-watch?
Oh, wait. No, this ain't it. That ain't it. Can't find it. But yeah, basically, you hear how Tank is the man at lightweight. Based on Floyd's logic, he the man. He's the guy. He can't do that. See, that's what I was talking about, Will. They can't put them on blast like that. Because Max Kellerman can get at him in that way and shut his whole shit down. But if he do that, Max might get some shit or some heat for it. Because Floyd don't like being... Floyd is the one dude that feel like he's above reproach. He's above being held accountable. Floyd don't like accepting his faults. He's like, you know, Floyd and Wilder, they like the Donald Trumps of boxing. They're never wrong. They're always right. All the shit. It is what it is. Of course. Of course. That's how you know it's bullshit. When Floyd say shit like that, it's bullshit. So when he say it's hard to deal with, it's going to be either it's like everybody wants to be the top dog. Everybody want to say that they the boss. Everybody want to say that they running it. Everybody want to say it's their event. Everybody want to do that. I feel like it's not that hard to work with Bob personally. And the reason why I say that, I'm gonna be clear. I'm not saying there's not no level of difficulty to work with Bob Arum. What I'm saying is, if Bob Arum could make pretty much the biggest fight of all time happen with Don King, I don't think he's that hard to work with, because Don King is a greedy motherfucker, and Bob Arum was willing and able to work with him. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So a lot of these cats don't want real questions, bro. They don't want real questions. They don't want you to really say no real shit to them. They want you to cater to the narrative, to their ego. That's what they want to do. I don't have time for that. I'm not here to stroke your ego, make you feel better about yourself. I ain't here for that. Floyd, you on some bullshit. You've been on some bullshit. And I like how you used Leo Santa Cruz, you know, being a 4 division champ to Lomachenko's being going up 4 weight classes to fight, or 3 weight classes, to fight. I like how you did that. Even though stylistically, skill-wise, we already know that a lot of shit that, I mean, if Leo Santa Cruz was able to do what he did against Tank Davis, what you think Vasily Lomachenko is going to do? But you don't have no hope, no faith, no none of that. You own some bullshit. Some straight, utter bullshit. Yep, they the Donald Trumps of boxing. Floyd Mayweather and Deontay Wilder, because they do not like being held accountable. They don't like being told about themselves. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else. It's never them. It's always you, or it's me, or it's the trainer, or it was the gym, or it was getting some pussy the other night, which is your stupid ass fault if you out here fucking the night before a fight. So you can't blame. That's not even an excuse to justify. Hey, holla. I'm going to give you some game. Holla. Don King, and I know this for fact, Don King is Al Heyman's advisor. You know how Al Heyman is the advisor of these boxers? Don King is Al Heyman's advisor. Who you think taught Al Heyman the game? You think Al Heyman came into boxing knowing what to do, how to do, where to do it? Nah. He had to be taught the game just like anybody else. And guess who taught him the game? Don the fucking King. Period. That's who taught him. Who you think taught him the snake shit, the manipulation and all that? Don King. And I know that for a fact. That's not just me speculating. No, that's facts. Don King is Alan Heyman's advisor, mentor. No, Floyd wouldn't do that. I give Floyd that. He wouldn't do no shit like that. But Floyd is a master manipulator. He know how to, he a manipulator. He up there with them rich people. He know how to concise you. You know what I'm saying? He know how to get you. He got the money. He got the cars. That's what get youngsters. Money, cars, clothes, women. That's what get you. That's what get you. Whoa, no, I want what you got. I want what you got. I want what you got. You got all these cars. You got all these clothes, man. You got all these girls wanting you. I want that life. And then when you get it, you realize it's not what you think. It's not. I want the money. I don't give a fuck about the fame. I don't care about it. It don't hold no value. It don't hold no weight to me. I want the money though, because then I could take care of my family. Yeah, that's how he had to learn from somebody. I was surprised too when I heard that Don King was advising Al Heyman. I was hella surprised. But if you think that Don King ain't getting no checks, just because he's not out here promoting hella tough, don't mean that nigga ain't out here getting no checks. Don King's still getting money. He's still getting paid. He's not fucking around. And I give it to him for that. But Floyd on some bullshit, y'all. He on some straight bullshit. Real talk, real rap. This ain't even... I mean, but as far as, you know, what I don't like about Floyd is Floyd don't call shit out. I like Floyd Daddy, though. Floyd Sr., that nigga calls shit out. He said, Wilder trash. He trash. Just Floyd always want to be politically correct because he don't want nobody to fuck up his money. He need to keep that money flow. He need to keep that cash flow going. Bro, Don King is really the godfather. Yep. Wilder's best win is against Bermain Stavern. Some people will say Luis Ortiz, but actually, no, his best win is Bermain Stavern when he won the belt. They don't. I wouldn't. These motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. For real, for real. But yeah, y'all hear it though. Floyd is really on some sucker shit when it comes to Tank Davis. And I need y'all to understand that moving forward. And a lot of these YouTubers are on the same type of bullshit. Like I've said many times before, a lot of these YouTubers are not for the sport. They're just for what's ever hot, what's ever popping. Shout out to Andre Ward for bringing that shit to light. Of course he wants to fight Dillian White now. Of course he's going to talk about fighting Dillian White now. Of course he's going to do that now. Because he has nowhere to go. He has no avenues to hide behind no more. So saying I'll fight Dillian White sounds more, it's more credible. It sounds right now. You didn't want to fight him. You wasn't saying nothing in the word along the lines of fighting Dillian White when you was champ. But now you ain't the champ in the Fury fight looking like it's not finna happen. Now all of a sudden you want to start talking about fighting Dillian White. Charles D. Shout out to the UGC. What's up, Drew? Thank you. Appreciate you. You know, but in all reality, Wilder don't want to fight nobody. So when y'all hear Wilder talking about, I'll fight this person, I'll fight that person, he not really going to do that shit. He lying. What do I think about Canelo fighting Callum Smith? I think it's a good fight for Canelo. He's moving up or staying at 68 and doing his thug thing. And I think he's going to win that fight easy. I think Callum Smith is too tall. He fight too tall. He don't change levels. Canelo changes levels. And I think Canelo going to make an easy fight. And I think he's going to stop Callum Smith within 8 rounds. All right, Will Cash. Be smooth, nigga. Wilder is going to fight a PBC fighter for that bridgeweight belt. He's not going to fight nobody that's really good. He's not going to fight nobody that's a threat to him. Wilder a bitch. I keep saying that so much. It's like, it's real shit. Like Wilder, when it comes to boxing, he a bitch. He not finna fight nobody that's a threat. Nobody. If you want to fight somebody, fight Andy Ruiz. Wilder watch Andy Ruiz, I will literally be sold on Wilder if he was to beat Andy Ruiz. And the only reason why I say that is because Andy Ruiz's style is literally geared to keep you on the back foot all night. And Wilder can't fight off the back foot. Andy Ruiz is a phone booth fighter. Wilder don't do well against phone booth fighters. So the best way to prove and test your mental is a fighter that stylistically is bad for you, which is Andy Ruiz. But he's not gonna fight Andy Ruiz. Yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. You're right. That's what I said too, Holla. It's gonna be body shots. Canelo gonna hit him with that left to the body, and it's gonna wake his whole shit up. But yeah, it's Wilder not finna fight nobody. I don't care what Wilder say. Wilder can say, "I want to fight Joshua. I'm going to fight Joshua." I don't with Wilder until I see a fight date, time, venue. I don't give a fuck what Wilder say. Wilder not gonna fight no Philippe Hergovich. He not gonna fight. He might fight Kalnacki. Because Kalnacki gonna stand there to be hit. So that's probably what's gonna happen. They're gonna put Wilder in there with like Kalnacki, and Kalnacki gonna come in there like 300 pounds, hella slow and sloppy, and Wilder just gonna catch him, and Kalnacki gonna be so fucked up, he just gonna fall and just lay there and say, "Fuck it, I'm getting a check anyway. Who cares?" So, only reason if he fight Dillian White, White gonna smash him now. Wilder gonna get smashed by Dillian White because Dillian White just gonna go straight to him and put Wilder on the back foot. That's all you gotta do with Wilder is put him on the back foot. Now the thing is gonna be if he ever knocks somebody out going backwards. If he's going on the back foot and he catch you with that right hand going back, and fighters starts falling or start getting knocked out, then it's going to be a different thing, and people are going to start saying he can fight on the back foot, when in reality, you can't really fight on the back foot. It's just that you just caught somebody coming in, and then can't nobody come at you stupid, which you shouldn't do anyway. Because I don't think, because if I go back and I just throw something and I catch you, that don't mean I can fight off the back foot. Fighting off the back foot is maintaining your balance, maintaining your ring generalship, not getting caught, moving, and still landing at a consistent rate. Wilder's not that. Wilder, he'll just throw and hope he catch you. Fighting on the back foot is knowing I could still throw, pop, 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 and I could still be active and accurate while going backwards. But I see Dillian White at this particular time keeping Wilder on the back foot, and the only way I see Dillian White losing is if he get caught coming in or he gets caught coming out. He's going down. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what makes fighters great, is the fighters that take the risk and is not worried about getting the biggest paycheck or the biggest pay. So when a lot of these promoters and promotional companies, hence PBC, Mayweather Promotions, make all these excuses about, oh, it's too hard to make the deal, it's because they want too much. They want more money, or they want more control. They want more from the back end. It's always something that they want more of that they're not getting. And it is what it is. And it's easy for me to say that they should just say fuck it and let it go, but I'm not the one in the position. But at the same time, I do feel like when fighters want to make fights happen, because I've seen it, when they really want to make fights happen, the fights happen. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. When the fighters want to make the fights happen, they happen. And we saw that coming up. You know what I'm saying? And I've said this before, and I say it 1,000 times. You know what I mean? I get why people, want to follow Wilder and all that. That's great, fine. But when you got a guy named Chad Dawson who has a better resume than you, and he doesn't have nowhere near as much notoriety, nor did he ever have that much notoriety in the sport of boxing, come on, bro. And yeah, I said it. Chad Dawson has a better resume than Deontay Wilder. I say it again. Bad Chad Dawson, for the middleweight, light heavyweight champion of the world, has a better resume than Deontay Wilder. Period, point blank. Anybody want to argue Chad Dawson's resume over Deontay Wilder's resume, feel free to hit me up in the comment section ASAP. What's up, G-Dub? Feel free. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. because Wilder's resume sucks. The biggest names, and I'm going to say this in the most unbiased way possible, the biggest names on Deontay Wilder's resume, okay? I'm going to give y'all the biggest names, okay? Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne's biggest name? Chris Arreola. Okay. Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz's biggest name? Bryant Jennings. Dave Allen. And finally, Tyson Fury, who actually has fought a couple of decent guys. But guess what? You didn't beat him. But these other two dudes who got bums and shitstorms for top opponents, yeah, you beat them because they ain't fought nobody. They ain't been in there with nobody. They ain't nobody. But Tyson Fury, who's actually has some skill, actually has been in there with some top people, you ain't do shit with him. So, I'm just saying, when a guy named Bad Chad Dawson, now mind you, Wilder, like I said, your best names on your resume is Tyson Fury, Luis Ortiz, and Bermane Stiverne. Those are the best names on your resume. Best names. Now, Chad Dawson, let's be clear. Now, Chad Dawson, we gonna go through this. I ain't fucking around today. Chad Dawson got Thomas Almeck, who was undefeated when they fought. Glenn Johnson, Antonio Tarver twice, Glenn Johnson twice, Jean Pascal, Bernard Hopkins twice, Andre Ward, Adonis Stevenson. I'm just saying. Chad Dawson got 1, 2, 3, arguably 4 Hall of Famers on his resume. Maybe 5 if depending on how you feel about certain fighters. But arguably, Chad Dawson got for sure 4 Hall of Famers on his resume. For sure. How many Hall of Famers does Deontay Wilder got on his resume? Arguably 1. So like I said, Bad Chad Dawson has a better record and resume than Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Period. Call it what you want. Don't understand who they say Canelo cherry picking Callum Smith because Khalid Plant didn't follow through, but Callum Smith got the better record than anybody at 68, better than Plant and Billy Jones. Look, y'all gotta stop dictating the fighters on who they should fight or shouldn't fight. Y'all not them, and y'all not in they camps. Y'all not in a part of their team to be sitting there saying who they should and shouldn't fight. If Khalid Plant, now Khalid, you ducking. Because, in all honesty, at this point, Khalid, you should be pressing. Now, I read the article where you said it looks like you may be having some issues. Okay, I get it. But you should be pressing. You should. Because this ain't no right after your fight and all that. This ain't none of that. No. This ain't that. You right, Chris Ross. Antonio Tarver. Oh, shit. You, man. Hold on. Got the game fucked up, cuz. Antonio Tarver got a better resume. Way better resume. It's pretty nice. It's not the greatest. Reggie Johnson was good. Eric Harding was good. Montel Griffin was good. Roy Jones 3 times. Glenn Johnson twice. Bernard Hopkins. Chad Dawson. Danny Green. Lateef Coyote. A lot of y'all forgot about Lateef Coyote. He got some cool people. I wouldn't say he ducking David Benavidez. I think Khalid really want to fight David Benavidez. I just think David Benavidez is fat and out of shape. That's what I think. I just think he's fat and out of shape. That's what I think his problem is. He's out of shape. Shit, Glenn Johnson got a better resume than fucking he fought a lot of dudes. Carl Froch, Tavoris Cloud, I remember him. Yusuf Mack, Chad Dawson, I remember him. I remember Yusuf Mack is what I'm saying. I remember him. Montel Griffin, Clifton Woods, I remember him. Antonio Tarver twice. Roy Jones. Eric Harding, I remember him. Thomas Ehrlich, I remember him. Omar Shika. Oh my God. B-Hop. See, this is the era I grew up in, man. Where fighters fought the top guys. When you got to a certain plateau in boxing, you wasn't fighting nothing but top opposition. You wasn't fighting wannabes and maybes and sometimes and shit like that. You was fighting top dudes. The money came. Money gonna come. Let me tell you something, Alex. Based on that Otto Wallin fight, he not gonna beat AJ, bro. He can't fight AJ like that. And I'm not saying that he would. He'd be a damn fool to do that shit. But if AJ is cutting the ring off, what is Fury gonna do? Because we still haven't seen that. Because that was the one thing that Klitschko didn't do that he should have did, which was cut the ring off. That was on him. That was literally on him. The thing is, your body don't fall for the feint. When you doing all that feint, just jab to the body. Joshua's jab to the body is going to be key in a Fury fight. I'm going to tell you right now, Joshua's stabbing jab to Fury's chest and the body is going to be very key. Very, very key. What's up, for real? I call you for real because you're the truth. So, I think technicality Usyk might give Fury problems on a technicality standpoint. But I think with AJ, he ain't gonna be able to bully AJ. And I think that's the thing that people forgetting. Like, he ain't gonna be able to bully AJ. Because AJ not going, and that's the thing. That's what make the fight so great. Because Tyson Fury, he can't bully AJ. He can't just sit on there and hold and use his 6'9" height and weight on AJ. He can't use that on AJ. You know what I mean? That's because AJ is a strong guy. But AJ can't sit on the outside and try to box Fury because Fury gonna box circles around him. So, and Fury can't let AJ cut the ring off. It's like that's a fight that, to me, arguably is 50-50. Like, it's all on who gonna have the better game plan, who really is going to make the proper adjustments, and that's who's going to win the fight. Whoever comes in with the best game plan and whoever can make the right adjustments at the right time is the person that'll win the fight. Aside from that, I don't know. Yeah, he'll outbox him, but he ain't walking down. He's not walking down AJ. Nobody is really finna walk down AJ except a guy like Andy Ruiz, because stylistically that is his style, is to walk you down, get you in the phone booth, and pound on you, because Andy Ruiz is not a long arm guy. He don't got long arms. He got short combat arms, and he's there to throw hooks and well on you, Mexican style. So other than that, unless you're a guy like that, who would I back out of an AJ Fury fight? Again, I don't know, because I feel like it's all on who show up. Because if AJ come in thinking he's trying to just bulldoze Fury gonna just move on him and box the shit out of him and hold him. And then when he's holding him, AJ is gonna expend a lot of energy trying to get Fury off of him, and that's gonna tire AJ out. We already know AJ get tired. So we'll see. It's a fight that people want to see. It's a fight that I want to see, and I can't wait to see it, to be honest with you, to be quite real. I think if Fury did strength and conditioning, and he don't have to lift no weights or nothing, just strength and conditioning, just work on his strength, I think he'll be a lot more dangerous. But I think he doesn't work on his strength and conditioning enough to really build that strength. Because you could build strength. You could build your power up and hit harder. You could do that. But I just think he's not doing that to get to that level. I don't think he's there with it. I really don't think so. I think he's cool with his boxing skill and his boxing prowess, and he's okay with that. And that's literally what I think with Fury. But like I said, I still think it's a 50-50 fight. If AJ comes in and trying to bulldoze Fury, Fury is going to box circles around him. And if Fury doesn't know how to get away from, and if AJ cuts the ring off really well, he could give Tyson Fury a lot of problems. So it's really, to me, it's really on who shows up that night. It really is, because and if the cold part about it is, if they both show up, it's fireworks, y'all. Fireworks. But I gotta go. I gotta get to my kids, man. I sit here and be talking 4-5 hours in this thing, but I gotta go. Appreciate everybody for sliding in, man. Shout out to the Boxing Source, man. Thank you for sliding through, bro. I gotta come through and holler at you on one of your lives one day, bro. I'm out of here.